What's going on, Jello family? So I have a great video today. I actually saw the Tesla Model 3 Performance in person at the showroom, and this is just kind of a walk around the Tesla Model 3 Performance and my thoughts on the car. I thought it was gorgeous, to be quite frank with you. It had the ultra red paint with the red brake calipers and the new carbon fiber spoiler. So it is a very cool looking car. I'm not gonna lie, I was very impressed. And fun fact, guys, the Tesla Model 3 Performance does kind of hold a soft spot in my heart because the Tesla Model 3 Performance was the first Tesla I ever bought. I had a red one with the Uber turbine wheels and the white seats, so it's really cool to see it get refreshed again. And now actually it qualifies for the $7,500 rebate, which is pretty impressive because when I first bought it, I think at $4,000 discount at the time, but now you actually get the full $7,500 rebate because it qualifies under the EV tax program. So I think you can get one for around $50,000, which is pretty good for a Model 3 Performance. The crazy thing though about Teslas is that they do depreciate like crazy, so your best bet is just to buy a used one. But if you have the cash, you want to buy a new one and get $7,500 off, then the Model 3 Performance is a great way to go. So if you guys look inside, we have the all white seats. The back seats have stayed the same to all the previous Model 3s and Model Ys, but the front seats have changed in the sense where you have a new kind of like badge on it. Here's the trunk. The trunk closes very well and very nicely, where it closes smoothly. It's not a large sound when it closes anymore, and I can tell a huge difference on that. You still have the double pane glass within the car, which is extremely cool. And then if you kind of go to the front here, you'll see that you do have that new refreshed interior with the new steering wheel, the new center console, and the new kind of ambient lighting all throughout the car. I like how they put the ambient lighting in red in this car, but you can change the ambient lighting throughout the car. So that's one cool thing about the Tesla Model 3 Performance, is that the ambient lighting can change. Double pane glass for much quieter cabin noise. I've driven the car, the Model 3 long range, the Model 3 rear wheel drive for the Project Highland car. However, not the Performance because it's not out yet to drive, but they've been very smooth, very nice to drive. I think when Tesla starts having more Model 3 Performances delivered to customers, then they'll start allowing people to test drive. Because right now, the only people who really test drive are people like who are owners of the car and people who have basically um, are like journalists or kind of large influencers who have a kind of pull with Tesla, and they're able to get the car for test drive for their content, their channel, get a lot of marketing for them. So that's one thing about kind of being an influencer, probably, or a journalist within the automotive and tech industry. You can test drive the car. Cool thing about this car though is the ultra red paint. I've always been a fan of the ultra red paint because Tesla, the previous paint was just red, right? And the paint looked good as a red color, but the ultra red was kind of more eye-catching and pop. It was similar to the Mazda ultra red paint because I think Franz came from Mazda, and Franz is like the chief designer at Tesla, so he helped design all of the Tesla's cars. So the paint color is similar to Ultra Red, which I do enjoy, and I think it's a gorgeous look. It's a gorgeous color. So having Tesla kind of put that new paint color with the Ultra Red is very nice, and I do enjoy it. So shout out to Tesla for getting that new color, that new paint. With regards to the windows, we have double pane glass, which I really like, and then with the interior, you kind of have that new white look on the side doors. That white color is similar to the Cybertruck. If you've ever driven a Cybertruck, the side panels on the doors look extremely similar to the Cybertruck, and the speakers as well. So it looks like they have similar parts for both of these cars, which is kind of interesting. And then you do have a Tesla badge on the back, which is seen in all the new Model 3s, the Model Y, or the Model 3s right now, especially post refresh with the car, which I think is really nice. So for me, I think that the car for $7,500 off, and you get a, I think you get a kind of like the new suspension. I haven't driven it yet, but I've driven the long range and rear wheel drive suspension for the Model 3 Highland, and I was extremely impressed with the suspension. So I'm assuming when we get the Cargello family to test drive it, we can probably test out the suspension and see how it feels, see how we like it. So purchase price right now for the vehicle without the rebate is $54,990, which is kind of crazy to think because I actually got a BMW i8 for much cheaper than that, but this is a Model 3 Performance, so it's kind of brand new off the lot. So if you kind of want this configuration with the ultra red, you want the white seats for the car, you're looking at about a purchase price of $2,000 extra for the ultra red paint, and then another $1,000 extra for the white interior. That's going to be around $56,990, which is exactly what I paid for my Tesla back in the day. I think it was like 3-4 years ago. Yeah, when I paid for my Tesla, I paid that same price of $56,990. Yeah, so it's the same price, but the thing is too, it does not come with it doesn't come with a rebate if you kind of get that color, that ultra red color, which is kind of unfortunate. And it is interesting though, because for me, at the time I thought that price was really expensive because your monthly payment would be almost $1,000 a month, and then you have insurance costs, and then you do have to kind of pay for charging, right? So all in all, to drive your vehicle, I'd say around $1,500 a month, and that is post-tax money, so it is a significant amount if you're trying to drive the Model 3 Performance. However, for this car, it was like one of the fastest and most fun cars for me to drive, where I just had such a great time driving the car because it was so fast. It like I never like raced or anything, but going to work, it was probably one of the better daily drivers I've had, just because of the autopilot. It was extremely nimble, extremely quick, and I loved kind of the feel of being in an EV where I can just charge wherever I go. Sometimes they have free charging, so you don't have to worry about gas. I always thought that was one of the cooler things, and I just enjoyed it so much. So that was one of the cooler things about having a Model 3 Performance, right? I've had a rear wheel drive, I think I've driven that, and it wasn't as fun because the battery wasn't as big. Also because it was a rear wheel drive, you couldn't really drive it in the snow. You had to kind of get chains, all that good stuff. But having a dual motor all-wheel drive Tesla Model 3 Performance, I never really had to worry about that, especially if I was driving up into snow to Lake Tahoe, which is kind of a huge snow area here in like the California and near Nevada area on the west coast of the United States. So it is a really fun car to drive, as well as it is one of the better, most aesthetic looking cars. I remember so many times driving this car, people like were running, "Oh, is that Tesla?" Like, yeah, it is a Tesla because of its lower profile, the different type of wheels, which was the Uber turbine wheels. You had a carbon fiber spoiler, and it just looked a lot different than the other Model 3s. One of the biggest takeaways from this car, though, if you do choose to go with the refresh Model 3 Performance, is that you have a better suspension. From my understanding, just because I've driven the other Model 3 Highlands, you'll have a new ultra red color if you do go with that color. The brakes and the wheels are a lot different. You'll have a different looking carbon fiber spoiler, as well as you kind of had that Highland refresh, which at the most part right now, I really enjoy. I think you can still get a great deal for the old Model 3s, right? But you will have a much bumpier suspension. The cabin will be a little bit louder. It's just like small updates. For me, they were pretty night and day because I drive Teslas a lot, so I can tell the difference. But if you're like a normal consumer and you just want a normal Tesla, I think you can get 3 Performance used, like the 2021s, 2022, like the 2020 versions, 2019 versions, and you still have a great time with it, right? It's still a great car. But if you want the latest and greatest, this is a pretty good car. You get that $7,500 rebate, which I think is a bargain right now. But do keep in mind, even though it's a $7,500 rebate, you still get those destination fees of about $1,500. You still have tax, so registration fees. So you'll still have those kind of fees associated with the car, and that $7,500 will just kind of cover your tax, cover your destination fee, cover your registration fees. So that is a significant part, because whenever you take the delivery of the car, you think it's just the purchase price of the car. No, in reality, it's like the outdoor prices. You get the tax, you get the fees, you get the registration, all that stuff, and then that $7,500 rebate will cover that. That's a cool thing about Tesla now, is that that $7,500 rebate is applied to the purchase price of the car. So as soon as you buy the car, you'll see that $7,500 or $7,500 deducted from that price. So it is a kind of a good deal for you if you're really in the market for a Tesla, especially now that the Model 3 qualifies for that. The Model 3 long range is pretty good too. We'll do a review video on that, but right now this video is about Tesla Model 3 performance and the $7,500 rebate, and personally I think it's gorgeous. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I give it 10 out of 10 if I could drive it, see how it feels, but later on, Jello Family, we will drive it and see how it goes. Jello Family, please like, comment, and subscribe. We have a whole bunch of affiliate links below if you want to purchase other things for your Tesla, or if you want to book some time with me to learn about Tesla. I have a link down below. I have a channel called Angelo Carlos Talks, where I talk everything I learned about Google, everything I learned at UCLA, and you'll learn a ton with that channel. So check that link down below. Jello Family, appreciate you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day, Jello Family, and I'll see you on the flip side. Please watch more of these Tesla content. Jello the best. Have an amazing day, Jello Fam. Peace.